Ahoy, folks! Tris here with a quick update on Pikmin. Nintendo has published the second part of their Ask the Developer interview series, talking with Miyamoto and more from the team about the Pikmin series. We covered part 1 yesterday, which went over original concepts and ideas for the first game and more, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. But let's take a look at what part 2 has to offer. First up, the story. When asked directly if the story connects to previous games in the series, Hiramuki summarizes what we already know about the player character, then adds, "As for the story's timeline, I'll leave that to the player's imaginations." Well, that's being pretty coy. But a more interesting comment comes from Miyamoto, as he wonders why the series hasn't sold more, even though they're so fun to play. He also wonders why people think the games are so difficult. And as we all know how much Miyamoto loves the Pikmin series, it's only natural he'd be thinking about this a lot. Expanding on the difficulty question though, Miyamoto understands that death is a factor that players find difficult in games, but he believes that the franchise's strength lies in its relationship with mortality. If players are worried about their Pikmin dying, then they need to plan efficiently and work out how to best get through the situations presented in the game. He believes the two main reasons why the games are considered difficult are due to the controls and the depth of gameplay, which are two things he has worked on to make sure are conveyed as interesting rather than difficult. The team worked to improve the ease of play through the controls, camera, and AI. But part of the essence of Pikmin is what they refer to as dandori, a Japanese term that means to think about planning and efficiency in advance to get things done smoothly. Learning through repetition is important to the very core of the Pikmin series. Speaking specifically to Pikmin 4, the dev team say that Pikmin 4 gets all the good things from Pikmin 1 and 2, the challenge offered from Pikmin 1, and the broader content from Pikmin 2, among other things. Moving on to Oatchi the Space Dog, the idea originally came from looking for more ways to boost the sales of the series by capturing people's attention. The first idea was a playable Bulborb that would eat Pikmin, but then it evolved into letting the player ride and control different creatures, which, ultimately, led to the partner creature Oatchi. And as a partner, Oatchi can carry objects like Pikmin or battle enemies, allowing him to strike a good balance that works to the game's dandori core. When speaking of the new Pikmin types, Ice Pikmin and their ability to freeze enemies was popular among player testers that weren't as skilled at battling enemies. Glow Pikmin were introduced to help make the game a bit easier, since they can't die and are resistant to most elements. Anyway, the rest of the interview dives deeper into the dandori nature, the rewind time feature, and other modes. We'll include a link in the description below so you can check out the rest for yourself. But ultimately, part 2 ends on the note that Pikmin 4 is designed for players to keep making progress to finish the game, no matter how they go about it. With the game just days away, the hype is settling in for everyone. But what about you guys? Are you excited for the first mainline Pikmin game in 10 years? What do you think of this dandori nature discussed in this part of the interview? Let us know down below, and stay tuned to GameXplain for plenty more on Pikmin 4, including part 3 of this interview coming tomorrow. Until next time, farewell.